Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before, and hearty welcome if you're new here. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I would love that. Comment, whatever. I love that. I love to talk, and you'll find that in this video. Anyway, I recently did 2 short videos on this, and this is the real-time, a little bit sped up, but this is the real-time closer to of this layout spread that I am doing for the week. I'm trying to do this weekly thing and do my dailies in my small passport size journal. So this is more my commonplace journal that I have. And by the way, if you I get some questions on this leather journal cover, and it is from Happy Hollow Farms, and I will put a link in the description and it'll take you straight to it. If you use my code Melissa10, again, that code will be in the description, you get a discount. So it's beautiful. I love it. It's my favorite leather and my very favorite journal cover. Anyway, I decided when I did this layout, I love lace. I love botanicals of all kinds, and so that is pretty much what I went with. When I drew it with pencil first, and I just kind of drew the things that I love. I love letters, so this is what this is. And I love tied up with strings letters and things like that. And that kind of wonky box that I'm drawing right now is supposed to be 2 pieces of lace, or a piece of lace that's cut into like this upside down L shape or whatever. I don't know what I was doing, but I was trying to fill up the space and do something a little bit different and make it kind of lacy. And it's okay. I mean, it's just a journal, right? So anyway, and this is the other side that I did this is more lace bows, books, things like that. And I love books. And for this week, I just wanted something for my commonplace. I wanted to put more of, I've been studying a lot of YouTube videos and different things. And so I wanted a place to jot down my notes and jot down bullet points, ideas, instructional things. And so I want to be able to keep this and refer back to it. And so I'm just making a pretty little spread, so when I do take notes, I have something to look at besides just notes. So I'm creating like a little sticky pad note thing here. And then this down here, I'm making just more of a ribbon that's holding a whole bunch of books. So, and this is what's funny about this is I have been studying in drawing how to perspective drawing, I guess is what it's called, how to place books. What do they look like when they're stacked on each other? If they're turned, what are the angles? Things like that. And so I was just kind of practicing that here, and I thought it would go really well because the book in the top, and I have no idea why I have that pencil board on the right side. What I was doing, I don't know. I don't know why that's there. Oh, and I'm sitting here fighting it as I'm trying to draw. So anyway, I do crazy things. And then there I'm just making it look like it's got kind of a ripped edge to it. So okay, I finally moved the pencil board. And so now I went into the lace bow on the top left. I kept that as a pencil because I wanted it to look softer. I didn't want to go over that with my black ink. pen. So this isn't going to be watercolors. This is just plain pencils. I almost said watercolor pencils, just plain colored pencils. And you guys, I use the cheap version. I use like Crayola or, any cheap version I can, because the tools that you use doesn't matter. It's all in the artist. And that's just my philosophy. I've been using expensive tools and cheap tools, and to me, I'm still getting the same outcome. Yeah, the more expensive ones have a little bit more pigment, but to me, if I color a little bit darker, I can get that pigment with these cheaper ones. So seriously, I just like to use what I have. And so I am using these cheap pencils and getting the desired outcome that I want. With the leaves, I'm using a couple different greens. I'm using a olive green and then just this kind of darker green. And I'm filling in the veins with the darker green so to make those pop, stand out more. And then I'm kind of shading some different areas because, not all leaves are the exact perfect amount of green. They've got different shades of green in each leaf. So, and then here I'm just adding some gray and some little tones and little centers to the flowers where the pollen comes. And I don't even know what kind of flower this is. I really don't. I'm just making stuff up. So, and then for the lace, I didn't want that too dark. So I'm using, again, Crayola, these washable Crayola markers. It's Colors of the World. And absolutely love them. And I'm just making a lace border with it. So keeping it pretty simple. And this will be my journal spot. So I'm just making it look, I guess, more like eyelet lace there. And this very pale pink comes from the same markers that I really love. And then this right here, this is kind of these are wavy dots. I didn't want to do dots going on the line. I'm just using the lines that's in the paper as a guide, but I wanted them more or less wavy from this lace pattern that I've seen before. And lace has all that kind of very fine netting in it. That's almost what I'm mimicking there. So, okay, so here's the lace bow that I didn't go over with the dark outline. So I'm just using, again, this marker, this Crayola marker, to put in the dots and the little thing. Right now it looks kind of crazy, but it turns out better in the end. And then I'm making the seam that's around the edging of the lace. I'm wanting that to really be darker so it'll pop and give it more of a three-dimensional look. And you'll see that come about here in a second. And the little tail on the ribbon that goes down on the left, it's supposed to be folded over. So that's another reason I wanted the edges, the seam to really show the folds and stuff of this. So that's what I did there. And I love lace bows and I love creating them. So that one was pretty fun. And then, okay, yeah, I'm working on this. I'm using one of the lightest markers to give it more of the parchment look. And then this is just basically just a piece of lavender laying on the book. And as you can see, the glasses are kind of wonky. I just freehanded it all. So yeah, just adding more of that parchment color. And then it needed something else. It needed more dimensions. So I'm using a darker one to fill in that, to make it more three-dimensional. And now I'm doing my little Post-it note, using that to make it look like it's coming off of the paper like it's laying there, so I'm doing some shadowing. And another one, this is a parchment color that I really like. I love it. And it's real shiny right now because it's wet, but it ends up really cute. Now I'm just adding shading, and yeah. So, and then the books. I'm working on this purple. I'm wanting the purple. I did the purple bow because I wanted it to kind of go and flow with the lavender up there at the book on top. But this is just me filling all this in, and if you know me, I'm a very neutral person. So this is probably the most color you'll see. Unless I change my mind next year, I don't know. But lately, I've just been wanting neutrals in my life. So this is a little fountain pen. And a funny story is I do not own one fountain pen. But I like looking at them, if that counts. So that is what I made there. And yeah, and then I'm just going back, filling this in with different colors. I kind of went from the books to the pen because I couldn't decide what other colors I wanted in the books. And then as I was coloring the pen, I thought of the colors. So anyway, there it is. I hope you like this.